Welcome to the Provo Library Podcast. I am Erica Hill. I'm the Community Relations Manager.
And I'm Carla Gordon, the Library Director.
And we are here to talk about fun things.
Yeah.
Just fun things.
Fun fall things.
Fun fall things. Carla wore a sweater for...
It is not fall yet. We are recording this a couple days from the official first day of fall. And I've been looking at my sweaters longingly for a while.
Mostly because it's never come out of my mouth.
I know. But AC through the summer, I just freeze everywhere I go, except for if I go outside. So from my car to a building, I'm hot. And then I walk in the building and I'm frozen.
But
and
now...
I just want a sweater. Now I get to wear sweaters.
All the time.
All the time.
Not look like a weirdo.
And not...
For that reason. Just kidding. Yeah. I'm sorry. That was mean of me.
No,
you never look like a weirdo.
It's fine. It's cool.
We're talking about not sweaters. We're talking about fun things that are happening at the library this fall. And that makes this not a timeless podcast, but also...
We'll probably do these things next fall. We'll just...
tweak them.
Yeah.
Tweak them. Okay, so number one, I just actually pulled up the calendar and I was like, what is happening? And the one that I didn't want to forget about is Spooky Stories in the Park.
Yeah. That's coming up.
It is. October 1st. I'm not going to have the date of all of these off the top of my head, but I would encourage you to go to the Provo City Library website, the calendar, sign up for our emails, and you'll get all those.
This is our second annual.
It is. Second annual Spooky Stories in the Park.
Which is fun. Last year we did it closer to Halloween, but moved it to warmer weather?
Warmer, I think. Okay. I think last year they got very lucky. It was like, it was a perfect day, and then the next day was like pouring rain. And so I think the hope was, let's see. Though it also seems like the surest way to make sure it will rain is to schedule an outdoor program.
Maybe that happens.
It should be fine.
It'll be fine.
There's a pavilion. Bring umbrellas. One thing I do like this year is that they are going from mildly spooky, maybe like one ghost stories, and then they're working up the spookiness scale. So if you have small children who like to think they want to be scared, but don't actually want to be scared, like you can opt out at any point because they're going to just work their way up that spook scale.
And we'll have hot chocolate and
cider.
So it'll be a party.
A party at the park, a spooky party.
Bicentennial?
Bicentennial.
Where it's kind of, they have that spooky, swampy area.
They do. My children lost their shoes in that spooky, swampy area. Not at a spooky time. Just one shoe, but...
the other shoe is useless.
One shoe is no good.
If you lose one. Okay.
So I'm haunted by that park for different reasons. So, Spooky Stories in the Park.
That'll be fun.
The second one we want to talk a little bit about is Carla's promotion to Grand Admiral of the Universe at Space Academy. I knew that would get you. I'm going to be honest.
I was promoted? Oh, yes, where I'm in charge of the universe.
The whole universe. She's gone from managing the library to a whole universe at the Space Academy. But Space Academy is really fun.
It is. It is. It's a children's program that I do enjoy. When I took over,
unintentional shade.
No. It's when I became the director. The previous director was always the king at the fairy tea party.
Yes.
And so people kept asking me, "Are you going to become the fairy queen?" And I said, "That is not a role I feel super comfortable with." I mean, I suppose most girls like to wear a big dress, and I could do it. But I wouldn't do it well. Yeah. But Grand Admiral of the Universe.
For sure.
That's a role I can play. And then I go home and discover that I'm in charge of nothing.
Oh. No, I believe you are the Grand Admiral of dinner.
Always. That's true. Yeah. Nope. The kids have fun. They come. My husband and my daughter come. And this year she has a Star Wars dress that she's very excited about wearing. So
my children inexplicably always come costumed in blankets. It doesn't seem to matter which, and we have a wide variety, and this is especially disconcerting at Superhero Academy. We alternate back and forth. Sometimes it's superhero, sometimes it's space. We have a wide variety of superhero costumes available at my house. We've got Iron Man, Spider-Man, Batman.
Sure.
Link, who is not a superhero, but I would argue is the superest of them all. Mostly because he has amazing pockets. If you've played Breath of the Wild, you know.
I do not know any of the words you're talking
this
about.
This is all someone listening to this podcast. One person. Steven is nodding his head. I'm right. Link is amazing.
He's from
the Zelda games.
Zelda games. Okay, thank you.
Anyway, we have all these costumes, and we have more generic things. We have capes and masks and whatever. Sure. And somehow my children every year come wrapped in an old dog blanket and call themselves Blobby, the superhero, and then inevitably get hot and take off so that I become Blobby's mom, carrying the Blobby cape around. For Fairy Tea, they were dragon tamers, which just meant a blanket and their stuffed dragon, which is all very adorable and very hot. And also, like, why?
But also a sign that kids can come in anything.
Yes.
Like, they just let them dress up in whatever way they want.
They
can
come in
and
full astronaut suit. They can come wrapped
some
in a
kids
blanket.
Do. We've had those, and they come in these cute little.
They're adorable.
Oh my gosh, they can't move. They look like cute robots.
Yes,
they're fun.
Yeah,
that's fun.
So Space Academy, there's an interactive program and lots of things.
That is a ticketed event, and
it is.
So tickets go on sale
September 28th.
September 28th. So get tickets. We don't usually. That's not one where you have to get in line. It doesn't sell out for a couple days usually. So
yeah, come anytime on that Saturday. You should be able to get tickets, unless it is inexplicably popular. In which case, I'm sorry.
We couldn't have predicted.
we
in the past.
We only go by the data we have.
Yeah.
Okay. This next one, I'm going to be honest, I don't know a ton about, except that it's very fun, which is Teen Takeover.
Oh, yeah.
Is happening on October 26th.
Yeah. So they close the library. We kick everybody out. And then we open the library a little bit and only let the teenagers in. And then they stay for an hour or two.
I think two.
And
it's like 6:30 to 8:30.
That sounds right. And they have the run of the place. So we have librarians around with different activities, different games. They can use computers. They can check out books. They can read books. It's sometimes fun to watch them because, teenagers, it's like just awkward. Just watching them be awkward around each other. Mm-hmm. It's entertaining.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Are you helping with that one?
I think I'm going to be helping them with staffing earlier in the day. I don't think I'll actually be there. I offer to go all the time, and they never want me. I don't think they don't want me. I think they don't need me. They need me more.
Maybe you would rather hang out with your family.
Probably on an evening.
Random teenagers.
Probably. Well, sure.
Okay. This one we're very excited about. We're excited about all of these. This is not a ranking system.
But this is new.
This is new. Fantasy Facts and Fair.
Yeah. So, we have always, if you've been around for a while, you might know we do a Regency tea party for grown-ups, and we bring in some authors, and we did that for a few years. We did that a couple times.
Yeah, it wasn't necessarily in a row.
No.
But there was also some COVID, just a little bit of COVID in there.
COVID in there. Anyways, but what we plan on doing is a big event for adults once a year. But we wanted to rotate them through different genres. So, Regency tea is obviously for romance readers. And then last year we did a murder mystery night, which was super fun for our mystery fans. And we've done a Harry Potter date night, school reunion thing. That was fun. So this is our fantasy thing that we've been trying to figure out for a few years. We've wanted to do it for a long time, but it's trying to figure out the right combination of what to do.
Yeah.
So
it's like, how do we get people to dress up as hobbits? But then what do we do with them?
What do you do with them?
Other than eat potatoes, which
I think we have potato chips.
Yep.
Yes, that was on the menu.
I may make a label for a bowl that says taters.
Taters. I like that. So what we're going to do is it's a ticketed event, $15 a ticket, and it's going to happen on the 9th of November.
Yes.
And it'll be a 2-hour event. It starts at 11 o'clock in the morning and goes till 1 o'clock in the afternoon. So those 2 hours. And we're going to have, every half hour, we're going to have a Hobbit meal, which is mostly just snack foods, but we'll have 11sies at 11:30 and then lunch at noon. And then at 12:30, we'll have afternoon tea. So kind of pulling all that in. And then between each of those, we'll have a round of trivia.
It'll be awesome.
Focusing on different like Tolkien trivia and Sanderson's Cosmere trivia and Wheel of Time, and then a general fantasy trivia. Which
I started writing some of the questions for the Wheel of Time trivia. I did.
Yeah. It's going to be fun, I think. And we'll encourage costumes. I think we'll do a costume contest, and there'll be all the food, and fun will be had by all.
It might be, I don't know if I want to say this because it's mostly a joke, but also a Hobbit costume. It might be the only event that you can come to barefoot at the library. So that's something. I don't know if I encourage that.
I don't know.
Do I rescind that? But also, it's a Hobbit costume.
It's a Hobbit costume.
You may be barefoot if your feet are very hairy. That's the only.
They're much of hair.
Thing.
We're excited to try this new one. I think next year we're back around to Regency Tea.
We probably are back around to Regency Tea.
It's fun to do something kind of different. And for just adults. We do a lot of stuff for kids that are special. And
And I feel like they're for a lot of years, there were things that we offer for other age groups. And we would get anytime we do anything Harry Potter, like, why don't you have this for grown-ups? And it's like, well, because we don't. But sometimes we do.
Sometimes we do.
We'll probably do the Harry Potter thing again, too. But yeah, I think we're to Regency Tea next year. So don't be surprised if around this time next year, we're doing a fall fun preview. And we're talking about Regency Tea.
Yep.
Okay, the last one, program-wise, to talk about, we can also talk about some other fun things coming up at the library, is the book ball and silent auction, where we will take all of the money that we can.
This is a fundraiser.
It's a fundraiser.
It's a fundraiser. So it'll be a dance. We'll have a DJ in the ballroom. I think we're going for a little bit of like 80s, 90s music.
Sure.
But that could be just because that's the only music I know about. But we'll have a DJ and music and lights and all of that. So it'll be regular dance in the ballroom, but then we'll have some other rooms set up with some trivia and some games. And then my favorite part, which does not identify me as an introvert at all, we're going to have the attic set up as a reading room. If you need a quiet place to read or talk in the middle of a dance. Seriously, I've always needed this. At every dance I've ever gone to, I've needed a quiet place to go and escape the dance.
Yeah.
So
there you go.
This is the prom your introverted friends would have created if they had been given the chance.
It turns out that I like a dance, but I also really like a game night.
Yeah.
So
it'll be that. And then we'll also have a silent auction going on. It'll start the week before and end at the dance. And we'll be collecting things to sell at a silent auction.
We also have some exciting things planned to sell at that silent auction. Should we tell people?
I think we could tell people.
These 70 people that listen to
that listen to this podcast. My mom's not going to care.
You heard it here first.
One of the exciting things we're going to sell are tables at the fairy tea. So one table at each of the 5 fairy teas will be auctioned off. So if you really hate standing in line for that table of fairy tea tickets,
the people,
I don't know how expensive it will get.
I was going to say, the people who are like, I would pay good money to not have to stand in line. We would like that good money. We would like that good money right now.
See if you were legit about that request. We'll give you an option.
Yep, to have a table without getting up. Yeah. So that's exciting. I
think it'll be fun.
Yeah.
We haven't really done a big fundraiser like this before. Tickets will be $25 each. It'll be, it'll be fun to see what happens.
Very good. Okay, that's all the programs I could think of to talk about. But other things that are kind of fun, we just got a grant earlier this year for an early learner library of things. Do you want to talk a little bit about that?
Sure. Like our library of things, the telescopes, and we have DVD players. We have lots of stuff. And
we may have done a podcast episode about all the things.
They aren't available yet, probably the 1st of October, but we have some home help kit where you can It's got a blood pressure thing and a
that's
blood
not for early
oxygen thing.
learners.
That's not for early learners, but we do have other things for adults. But we thought, we should get some stuff for kids. And so one of our librarians wrote a grant and she received the money for it. So we're going to be getting some Yodo players and Yodo cards that can be checked out. We've got crickets. I think it's a very exciting thing that people have asked for. So that's not necessarily for children.
That one, not so much. Though, I don't know. Fun, embarrassing fact.
Yes.
For a lot of years, I pronounced that cry-cut.
Not right.
Nope,
That's
it's
wrong.
not. I'm willing to be embarrassed for this podcast. I will admit that it is not spelled like cricket.
No.
And I thought, surely. I mean, cry-cut is just a terrible, don't name your product cry-cut. That's not good marketing.
Cut when you cry. Yeah. What else?
Really.
Launch pads, which are little tablets,
like
that are
games.
have games on them but aren't connected to the internet. So it's kind of a more controlled
And like no
thing
ads.
there. Osmos, which are kind of a early learning thing with either iPads or Kindle Fires.
She can parachutes.
I think she got a parachute.
So like if you just need a parachute. Not
a
a skydiving parachute. Disclaimer.
But yeah, one that you can play with little kids. Yeah.
It'll be good.
It'll be really good. So, and those things will be rolling out slowly. We didn't want to kill our acquisitions department because they have to figure out how to label and package everything. So it'll take a little while, but we're buying the things and we're excited to make them available. What else?
Anything else? I mean, have we talked about radon detectors?
I'm not sure, but we do have radon detectors.
Radon detectors.
We send out an email about it, and now there's a very long hold list. But I think we're going to buy a few more, and the list will go down. It's just a 1-week checkout, so it'll go pretty quickly, and because it just takes about a week to be able to test all the rooms in your home. And yeah.
I was on hold for it. This is, I just, if you have this problem, I just want people to feel seen because this happens to me all the time. That I get on hold for something and I'm like, that's amazing. And then the hold comes in like when I'm on vacation or something like that. And then I don't pick it up.
Now you're on a very long list again.
And then, I sent an email about it like a dummy.
And you work here.
Yeah. And I'm still, even working here, we're
still
not immune from hold lists. We're not immune. Okay. Should we talk about books?
Let's talk about some books.
What have you?
I don't know. I have 2 that I read recently that I really liked, both of them. Ruth Ware's new book, One Perfect Couple, I believe is the title. But it's a reality show. Couples go to this island in the middle of the ocean, obviously, but like a far, far away, and try to compete to be the perfect couple. And so
are they coupled before?
They're coupled before, but I mean, it's an island. Nobody's married.
I bet they don't all
Nobody's
stay together.
married. But the big storm comes and they are stranded there. Basically, they don't have any way of contacting anyone because their cell phones were all taken away from them, and there's only so much food. So there's going to be some conflict over who eats
who.
There is no cannibalism in this book, but it was really good. Ruth Ware is always fun. Like, her stuff is usually mystery, thriller based. This is kind of a little bit different from what she's done in the past, but it was delightful. It was fun. I wasn't sure exactly what was happening the whole time. Or
was there one perfect couple? There
was not. They didn't get very far into the competition, and then people started dying. It's fine.
But not getting eaten.
Nobody ate anybody.
You don't want to be surprised with cannibalism. It's not usually.
No.
It's not usually how things go down.
How about you?
I am, let's see, what have I finished? I just finished Tangled Up in You, which is the 4th meant-to-be novel. It's a retelling of Tangled. It's delightful. It's by Christina Lauren, though much less spicy than some of her typical fare. Because
these are usually pretty, this series.
It is decidedly closed door. Like, Yeah. Yeah. It's a closed door romance. There's more language than you would find in a typical Disney film.
Okay.
Because they're like contemporary rom-coms, but they are, closed. They close that door.
I don't want to ruin anything by
what?
saying
It's okay.
that they get together in the end.
They get together. They do. It's one of my favorite. I don't know if it's his favorite thing, but anytime I read one of these books, I'm like, Brent, I always tell Brent, I'm like, would you believe it?
They got together.
They got together. There were some conflicts, and then they got together. Yep, definitely did see that coming. I am also in the middle of Liane Moriarty's new book.
Oh, I'm
Here One Moment.
Jealous. I'm on a hold list.
Yeah, it's really good. It's really good. I'm liking it more. So I've read everything that she's written. I'm liking it more than Apples Never Fall.
Okay.
Her most recent one. Yeah, this one is about, but it's reminding me a lot of Nine Perfect Strangers.
Okay.
In terms of, there's a woman on a plane, an elderly woman who has a kind of out-of-body experience and starts predicting the deaths of everyone on the plane. Like, I predict you will die of heart disease at 65. I predict, like, she points at a baby and says he will die of drowning at age 7. Like, she gives, which that mom's gonna, she's got some. So then it follows a bunch of these characters as they're trying to, because some of them, she predicted, oh, you'll live to 103. And they're like, okay, great. And living their lives like normal. But some she gave really, like, you'll die of this. And it turns out it's within this year. And so they're like, oh, do I, put my baby in swim lessons? So it's just sort of following a bunch of different characters. And I don't know where it's going to end up, but I am enjoying the journey.
Excellent.
So there we go. That is the fun things that are going to happen at the library. Hopefully this was a fun enough podcast episode. I'm going to be honest. We are slightly tired around here.
We're tired. Summer was exhausting. And I'm going to say, with all the stuff going on in November that are new programs we've never done before, like the book ball and the fall or the fantasy thing, November's going to be busy too.
Yeah.
I plan on hibernating December. I'm going to recover and attack the new year
with vim and vigor.
With a lot more energy than I have right now.
Yeah. It's great though.
It's good.
Come to the library. It's a fun place to be. Thanks.
Thanks.